Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game So today I got a fun and exciting episode for you guys today, because last week I talked about the fact that Hamster was porting Rave Racer home as part of their Arcade Archive series, bringing that game home to consoles for the first time ever, and absolutely everyone was excited for that. The video did a lot of views and people were just stoked, and I wanted to separate this out into two videos because Hamster also now has their console archives. They are going to be bringing home some console games to online platforms, Switch 2 and PlayStation 5, at least announced at this point in time. And honestly, not only is that amazing, you gotta love modern retro gaming coming back, but the list of games they picked absolutely qualifies as the video game esoteric I'd love to talk about. Before I get too far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. If you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. But you will see here the list of games that are going to be coming out. Obviously Cool Borders and Ninja Gaiden 2 are already here, but the rest are going to be coming either around July, or some of them don't actually have stated dates. But when I saw the list of games that they're actually bringing home, I absolutely fell in love with the idea of console archives, because this isn't going to be the Tekkens, the Virtual Fighters, or the other super common games of the world. It's going to be a ton of absolute esoteric retro gaming nonsense of the best flavor, and that's definitely something I am stoked about. And the first game we're going to be taking a look at here is Monster Rancher Hop About. I'm sure you know about Monster Rancher, but did you know there is a 3D platformer where you're basically one of four characters that hops around on a pogo stick trying to get to the end of the stage without falling off. I know this seems super simple, but is absolutely straight up a hidden gem, and honestly the depth in the gameplay 100% hits. This is the type of thing you can speedrun the hell out of this. You can try to just get the best possible time on any individual stage, because things become very chaotic very quickly and Hop About, and I absolutely love it. And honestly, the entire lineup of games that Hamster's bringing home as the console archives really show that they are going for the deep cuts in gaming out there. They aren't trying to do the things that would be obvious. Monster Rancher Hop About really proves that we're going to be getting some really weird stuff. And it also has an amazing soundtrack, so listen, and I'll be right back. I mean, a light country vibe with animals hopping around on pogo sticks is a 10 out of 10 any day of the week in my book. But let's move over to another game, Sonic Wings Special. And I really love this intro here because it's mechs trying to take on the Kremlin in the future. So I feel like by the time we get to 2040, this is just going to be something we watch on the news. But all jokes aside, this is a game definitely is going to be well known to more people, but another one that is fun to have coming home. And honestly, with the console archives, Hamster hasn't stated which platforms that they're actually taking these games from, because Sonic Wings Special existed on the Sega Saturn, it existed on the PlayStation 1, so I'm really not sure which version they're actually planning on porting over to Switch 2 and PlayStation 5, so we'll have to wait on information on that one. But if I had to guess, it would be PS1, because emulation there is just a little easier to deal with. And if you're playing Sonic Wings and you don't pick Woody the Dolphin, you're playing the game wrong. He is an ace fighter jet pilot. He's Red Baron style. He is absolutely the choice for you. All jokes aside, I don't really know why there is a dolphin in Sonic Wings, but I've always loved it and I've always picked him. But again, another fun game that's going to be coming over to console archives, and I really hope that all of these games sell well and succeed. Because if you think about it like this, imagine how many rare and random games are out there, even just for PlayStation 1 generation stuff, which I'm talking about here. Not including the fact that there's a bunch of 8-bit games coming to console archives as well, which I just didn't talk about as much because you know this is kind of my weird favorite generation as far as esoteric games are concerned. You could have hundreds upon hundreds, even thousands of releases across stuff like Sega Saturn and PlayStation 1 coming to console archives, and we would all be the better for that, because it would just be a ton of fun to get something like this. Let's do our first soundtrack sample for Sonic Wings, and I'll be right back. Now moving over to a game that was announced and released basically as the first wave of the console archives, this is Cool Borders by Web Systems. And I would say I feel like they led with this one just because it's the game that everyone, if they played PlayStation 1 back in the day, is going to remember. But I would say this is definitely the weakest of the games on the lineup in my opinion, just because I never really fell in love with Cool Borders back in the day. Something about the controls, something about the stiffness just didn't really do it for me. Steep slope sliders is what I'm going to play if I want to play a snowboard game from the 32-bit generation, or maybe even Snowboard Kids over on N64. Now, I'm not saying Cool Borders is a bad game, I'm just saying it never really clicked with me. I remember being a kid and renting this from the local rental place, and I just ended up being a little bit disappointed. So you leave me a comment down below and you tell me, did you play Cool Borders back in the day, and did you enjoy it or not? And have you played it recently? Because maybe there's just something I'm missing with the game, or not clicking with it. I always felt a little bit heavy, and trying to carve the turns felt a little bit clunky. But again, not everything is going to hit for everyone. Some of the games that I am super excited about from console archives coming soon might be things that you're not interested in whatsoever, and some of the things you're absolutely stoked to have coming might not be my cup of tea. But you can clearly tell Hamster is trying to really get a whole buffet of different experiences here for people, because honestly, Cool Borders versus some of the other games that we have here were across completely different genres and games that didn't even come out in the US, which kind of makes me wonder, are some of these games actually going to come out in the North American region as far as the console archives are concerned, and are they going to get translations? Because some of them, like I said, don't really have a whole lot of English language support in them, or none at all. And it'll be definitely interesting to see if there's different releases across different regions as well, North America and Japan, because you can always, of course, download stuff from different regions if you're creative about it. But Cool Borders is just one of those things. It is a decent game, but it's just never anything that I 100% clicked with. But as far as a lead-off game for the 32-bit generation, again, makes perfect sense that Hamster would want to do this because it is a game that people remember. And when this press release went out, obviously Rave Racer took kind of all of the oxygen out of the room, but Cool Borders left just enough behind for people to be excited about something like this happening. Now let's move over to a game that I was absolutely surprised to see pop up on this list. This is UFO, and it was made by a developer, Lovedelic. If that does not sound familiar, and if you watch my channel, you probably see me talk about more than once a game called Lack of Love on Dreamcast. Lovedelic made some absolutely insane games that are more art pieces than actual video games, but I love them for, and they are things that you absolutely have to experience. And I'm just letting the title screen scroll here so you can see just how incredibly strange and artistic this game truly is. And when I saw this game on the list, I knew that Hamster was going for those deep cuts out there, the things that no one's heard of before, to try to give them a better audience. But unless there's a translation that I missed, UFO is fully in Japanese, so it's one of those things. Maybe this might not actually come to North America. I certainly hope it does, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But this game also has a very weird soundtrack with some very weird voice acting that absolutely is a vibe, so go ahead and listen, and I'll be right back with more. So I don't think you really need to take me at my word when I say UFO A Day in the Life is absolutely a very weird experience, but it is incredibly charming, and hopefully maybe one Hamster brings these things home, maybe they would actually translate it. That isn't my expectation, but the announced list kind of feels like it has some games that are going to be Japanese exclusives, and some games are going to be coming to the West, but it's one of those things. We're just going to have to wait for more information. But as far as Hamster's console archives are concerned, I absolutely love they're doing this. They're bringing out some really fun games, some really esoteric games, and some really strange stuff as well. Well, leave me a comment down below and you tell me, if you could bring one game to the console archives to modern platforms, which one would it be? My vote is going to be a very deep cup. This is Germs. It is a PlayStation 1 Japanese exclusive, which absolutely is an insane game, but just recently, like last year or maybe 2024 at the end, got an English translation, so I would love to see Hamster talk to the translators and ask for permission to use their translation so they could bring something like this to the console archives. Do I expect it to happen? Absolutely not. Would I be stoked for it to happen? Absolutely. And considering they're picking some very esoteric games for this launch, I feel like it could actually happen. But we're done. Tell me what game you're most excited about down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.